if you go to school with or you work with people who don't know Jesus, you've heard lots of reasons and excuses for their decision to reject God. They say, well, I don't need God. I'm doing just fine. Christianity is too restrictive, the whole only one way to heaven thing. I think there has to be other ways. If I become a Christian, I'll have to give up too many things. I want to have fun. They say, well, I don't believe a loving God would send people to hell. Who wants to serve a God like that? If God was really all that loving, everyone would go to heaven. Christianity is a crutch for the weak. It's for people who can't make it on their own. People have questions, doubts, and misunderstandings about God. But this is the biggest question people who don't know Jesus wrestle with. And to be honest, this is the question people who do know Jesus wrestle with. It's a tough one. Preachers generally try to avoid because it's not easy or popular. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why did my wife get cancer? She's been a Christian her whole life. You ask, how could God let my child die after all I've done for him? She's such a good lady. Why did God let her lose her husband? Why did I lose my job? How about shootings and terrorist attacks? How do you explain that? What about tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes and tsunamis? How could God let this happen? Why didn't he stop it somehow? Why do bad things happen to good people? Because they aren't sure the answer. People get bitter and angry and blame God. If this is what I get for loving and serving God, for praying and being here and giving my time and money, I'm just not sure I want to do this anymore. Why do bad things happen to good people? Is it reasonable to expect if you love God, pray, treat people well, and give your money that things will always go right? That you'll be employed, healthy, happy, and blessed? If bad things happen, why? What's going on? We've been studying the story of Joseph. In case you missed any of the messages, I want to bring you up to date. Joseph was his father's favorite son. He had a beautiful, colorful coat to prove it. As you might imagine, his brothers didn't like that. Then Joseph had 2 dreams where his brothers bowed down and served him, and he foolishly shared those dreams with his brothers who hated him. Joseph's brothers couldn't forgive or even tolerate him, so one day while they were out caring for their flocks, they decided to kill him. They tore off the stupid coat, they threw Joseph in a well. In kind of a last-second, merciful, but really not so much decision, instead of killing Joseph, they decided to sell him. Joseph was sold by his own brothers, resold, ended up enslaved in Egypt. And from there, life was a roller coaster. Joseph was a faithful servant and put in charge of a high official's household. Then the official's wife falsely accused Joseph of trying to seduce her, and Joseph was thrown in prison for several years. Well, in prison, Joseph had a lot of time to think about his brothers and what they'd done. You can imagine how he must have fought anger, bitterness, and the desire for revenge. Through a miraculous set of circumstances, Joseph was released from prison, elevated to the number 2 man in the nation of Egypt, the most powerful country in the world. Joseph's plan was to store food during abundant years, and that positioned Egypt as the only nation with food when a worldwide famine came. Joseph's dream of his brothers bowing before him came true. His brothers came to Egypt to ask for food. They didn't know the guy they were asking, who held their fate in his hands, was the brother they sold. And Joseph didn't tell them. He gave them food and sent them home, but he kept one brother kind of as a hostage of sorts. Finally, the brothers came back to Egypt to beg for more food and for the release of their brother. They still didn't know the person they were asking for help was their brother, the one they sold. They didn't recognize him. It was Joseph's big chance to get even. But instead of punishing his brothers or getting revenge, Joseph chose to forgive. That was a quick recounting. But now I want to just go back through all the bad things that happened to Joseph. Remember, Joseph loved, served, and pleased God. As we go through that story, repeatedly in the story, it says the Lord was with Joseph. God gave Joseph a dream. Everyone he shared it with hated him. Joseph was beat up by his brothers, and his prized possession, a gift from his father, was destroyed. Joseph was thrown in a well and left to die. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers. Joseph was sold by his brothers as a slave. Joseph was separated from his family. His father thought he was dead. Joseph was sold again, this time to the enemy. Joseph was falsely accused of trying to seduce his boss's wife and thrown into prison. In prison, Joseph made friends who promised that when they were released, they'd help him get released. But when they got out, they forgot him. Joseph spent 2 years in an Egyptian prison, no friends, no family, no hope. If there's ever a guy with the right to be bitter and angry at God, it's Joseph. Even though Joseph was a good guy who loved God, bad things kept happening. And one day Joseph decided enough is enough. He stepped outside, shook his fist at God, and made an angry declaration. That's it. No more. I won't love you. I won't serve you. If this is what following you gets me, I'm done. I'm a good person and bad things keep happening. I am through with you, God. That's what you expect. On some level, you wouldn't blame Joseph. After all, he had it pretty bad. But that's not what Joseph said or did. Instead, Joseph's powerful response provides a clue into the answer to one of life's most difficult questions: why do bad things happen to good people? When your world is crashing in, when bad things seem to be piling up and you wonder what could possibly happen next, why me? This story, in Joseph's words, will give you a completely different perspective. When Joseph finally revealed his true identity to his brothers, they were frightened. After all, they started the bad things in motion for Joseph. And they just knew he was going to have them put in prison or have them killed. Instead, Joseph revealed unusual insight into everything that bad happened to him. Apparently, during all those years of slavery, captivity, and prison, Joseph had considered the question, why do bad things keep happening to me? We pick up this story, Genesis chapter 45 and verse 4, with Joseph's words to his brothers. Joseph said, "Now, do not be distressed. Do not be angry with yourself for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." Now, wait a second. God sent me ahead of you? God didn't send Joseph. His brothers sold him. But that's no longer how Joseph saw it. For 2 years now, there's been famine in the land. For the next 5 years, there will not be sowing and reaping. Famine's continuing. But God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. There it is again. God sent me. Instead of you sold me to get rid of me, God sent me here to save lives. Joseph said, so then it was not you who sent me here, but God. Are you seeing this? For the third time, Joseph said, it wasn't you who sent me here. I was mad. It looked bad. You were mean. But now on this side of things, looking back, I can see it wasn't you who sent me here. God sent me here. You look at all the bad things that happened to Joseph and reasonably decide his brothers did it to him, Potiphar's wife was responsible, or the Egyptians did it. That's the natural assumption when things go wrong. It's an attack of the enemy. But Joseph said, God did it. He made me father to Pharaoh, lord of his entire household, and ruler of all Egypt. God sent me here for a purpose, to rule and to save your lives. Hey guys, remember that dream I had when you all bowed down to me? You didn't know it, but when you sold me into slavery, that was the beginning of my dream, God's dream, coming true. Now, hurry back to my father and say to him, this is what your son Joseph says, which is going to absolutely rock Jacob because he still thinks Joseph is dead. Tell him your son says, God has made me Lord over all Egypt. For the fourth time, Joseph said, God did this. Tell Dad, God was behind it all. God sent me here for a purpose. God made me ruler. Tell Dad that so he doesn't blame you. Now we flip forward 5 chapters to Genesis chapter 50. Jacob died. The brothers were afraid. Dad's gone, and now that Dad's gone, they expect Joseph to get even, to get revenge, and this is his moment. Joseph said to them, don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what's now being done, the saving of many lives. So then don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children. Wow. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Beaten up, thrown in a well, sold again, falsely accused, put in prison, left in prison, isolated and alone. God intended all that for good. He put me here to save you and many others. And you say, okay, Rod, thanks a lot. So the reason God lets bad things happen to good people is so other people can be saved? Are you trying to tell me everything that happens bad to me is God's design? Now I really don't want to serve him. What kind of God would do that? Look again at Joseph's words. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what's now being done, the saving of many lives. God didn't intend evil for Joseph. What God did was take the evil intent of others and turn it in such a way as to position Joseph for impact and blessing. God took what looked like and seemed like and was a really bad set of circumstances, and he used them to make Joseph's dreams come true. Paul wrote in Romans 8:28, we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who've been called according to his purpose. Paul said, in all things. That's good things, bad things, evil things, unfair things, horrible things, great things. In all things, God works for the good of those who love him. The lesson is God is in control. I understand it doesn't always seem like it, but God is working behind the scenes. He's orchestrating things on your behalf. To which you say, Rod, what about death? What about when a good person dies before their time? We are fairly short-sighted when it comes to death. The whole point of living for Jesus is to go to heaven. When we die, we win. Paul said, to live is Christ, to die is gain. See, you got it backwards. You think you're living the good life now. This is not the good life. This is the bad life. This is the bad life, but what's waiting for us is the good life. When we get to heaven, that's the good life. In heaven, there'll be no more humidity. No more sickness, no more sorrow. You mourn and grieve, But trust me, your loved one in heaven isn't mourning and grieving. They are not saying, God, why did you let this happen? Instead, they're dancing and singing and worshiping and praising in the presence of Jesus. We sing songs like, oh, I want to see him, look upon his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice. Cares all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Or we sing, what a day that will be, when my Jesus I shall see, when I look upon his face, the one who saves me by his grace, when he takes me by his hand and leads me to the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. We sing those, but we don't believe those. Heaven's the reward. Why do bad things happen to good people? Because bad things happen. In a bad, sin-filled, evil world, bad things happen to good people and the bad people. When bad things happen to bad people, they suffer with hope. This is the good life for them. There's nothing to look forward to, nothing next. The difference is God ultimately uses the bad things that happen to you to bring about good for you and for others. Did God cause the bad? Absolutely not. But God will use what enemies and the enemy use to try to destroy you, and he will turn that around for good in a way you could never imagine. My friend Dave Reaver was physically wrecked and horribly disfigured by a grenade in Vietnam. And today, Dave ministers to military personnel and vets all over the world. Lane Mason was an alcoholic whose marriage was falling apart. Today, he's our recovery pastor, helping other people find freedom. Renee Donaldson was abused and battered. Today, she ministers to single moms. William Knight had a bad infection, had to have his leg amputated. Now he serves his church. He stuffs bulletins, and he's here every weekend. Stephanie Jira has gone through multiple transplants. Now she ministers to others who are facing transplants. Your pain is a key to your assignment from God. What you're going through gives you credibility. Now you're not just sympathetic, you're empathetic. You've been there. And as a result, you are more qualified to minister to others. Don't waste your pain. Don't waste your pain. If you don't turn your hurt to healing, it can become what defines you. People defined by their hurt fall prey to the victim mentality. The hurt continues and ultimately becomes bitterness. Long-held hurt turns to bitterness, and bitter people end up isolated and alone. But when your pain becomes an avenue for other people's healing, it lessens your pain. And it allows you to see things from a completely different perspective.
So be it, Lord. Should you lead me to the desert, or the storms that I can weather, that bring me to my end, so be it, Lord. I find you're all I've ever needed, 'cause you'll meet me on my knees, and I'll rise up once again. Let it be done to me according to your word, 'cause there is a reason why you placed me on this earth. Whatever it takes, whatever you ask, let your will come to pass. Let it be done to me according to your word. So be it, Lord. to the masses. I want to see your kingdom come, so be Lord. For your fame and for your glory, I will run the race before me until I hear well done. Let it be done to me according to your word. 'Cause there is a reason why you place me on this earth. Whatever it takes, whatever you ask, let your will come to pass. Let it be done to me according to your word. I know you're good always, my God, you're good always. Your love is good always, and you're not letting go. I know you're good always, my God, you're good always. Your love is good always, and you're not letting go. I know you're good always, my God, you're good always. Your love is good always, and you're not letting go. I know you're good always, my God, you're good always. Your love is good always, and you're not letting go. Let it be done to me according to your word. 'Cause there is a reason why you place me on this earth. Whatever it takes, whatever you ask, let your will come to pass. Let it be done to me according to your word. Let it be done to me according to your word.
Okay, Rod. I will concede that God can use the bad things that happen in my life. He's clearly an expert at taking lemons and making lemonade. But if he is all-knowing and has the power to intervene, why doesn't he? Can't he just prevent the bad from happening? Absolutely. I'm convinced he does all the time. Parents demonstrate this beautifully with how they care for their kids. Some of you parents have had close calls like that. Your kids, the kids in those videos, had little idea what danger they were in because their incredible parents saved them in the nick of time. Even though they may have been alarmed, experienced some discomfort or even a little bit of pain, they were prevented from experiencing the full consequences of their situation because someone lovingly intervened. Though we certainly experience discomfort and even pain in our lives, we will never know on this side of heaven what terrible things God prevented because he prevented them. Look one more time at Joseph's words. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Joseph was able to say that because years later he had the benefit of hindsight. Looking back, Joseph could see God was positioning me to save you. God used the bad you did to me to put me in a place where I could save you. Joseph reinterpreted his difficult circumstance in light of where he was and realized all that time God was still working. Even when you tried to destroy me, that couldn't and didn't stop God's plan. What an amazing God perspective. You tried to do evil to me. You tried to kill me. God's response to that evil was to leverage it and to put me in a place to save you. Would God really do that? Would God allow one individual to suffer so much that others could be saved? Not only would God do that, God did that. It's called the cross. Joseph is a type of Jesus. A type is something in the Old Testament that points ahead to something in the New Testament, a symbol. Joseph is a symbol of Jesus. We did evil, caused our relationship with God to be separated by sin. God sent Jesus, who wasn't only good, he was perfect. Jesus endured unspeakable agony, but it was designed by God so we could be saved. Just like Joseph, Jesus was put in a place of pain so he could save the very people who betrayed him. God sacrificed one, his son, for the many, us. Now, was that fair? Absolutely not. Thank God it wasn't fair. He paid the price for us. And so when bad things are happening, when life's coming unraveled, but it seems like every day brings another struggle, God will still turn that and use that for your good. Satan can't stop God's plans for you. He just can't. Would you bow your heads with me? I want to pray for you. I want to pray for you if bad things are currently happening. And here's how we're going to pray. We will pray that the bad stuff stops, that God will bring you through it. And we'll pray that you'll be faithful in the middle of it. But then I also want to pray that your perspective will change. And that you'll begin to see that though the enemy intends it for bad, that God's going to use it for good. He's going to use it to reveal and accomplish his plan for you and through you. That's what I want to pray. If bad things are happening, I want to pray for you. If that's you, bad things are happening, I want you to stand. We're going to pray. Say, what are people going to think when I stand? They're going to think bad things are happening because that's what I said. Okay? If you're standing, I want you to come stand across the front so we can pray. I left time. We're super early. And we're going to pray. If you're coming from the balcony, come on, we'll wait for you. We're not in a hurry. Like I said, I left time. We're going to pray that the bad things will quit happening. We're going to pray that God will bring you through. Or we're going to pray for a new perspective. And that you will see how he is using this and will use this for your good and for others. Okay, I want to invite everyone else to stand with us too. There's a bunch of you and one of me, so our prayer pastors and pastors are coming. We're going to pray for you. We'll get to you. I promise we'll get to everybody. We're going to pray with you. And if there's someone down here that you want to pray with, come stand behind them, put your hand on their shoulder, put your arm around them. We're going to agree together right now. Let's pray.